Hey everyone, proud to tell you about one of our sponsors here on Coptales and Cocktails. It is a first responder clothing company called Emery Lane. Emery Lane has a large variety of products for women and children, and they're quickly increasing their offerings for men as well. As you at home can see, I'm wearing one of their shirts right now today.
Stylish.
The thing I personally love about Emery Lane is they are family owned and operated by a law enforcement officer's wife, and all their products are designed in Nashville, Tennessee. Emery Lane has one of the largest selections of exclusively designed first responder apparel on the market today. You got to go check them out on Instagram or Facebook at Emery Lane Co. and use promo code STICKS for 20% off your next order. That's promo code STICKS, STICKS, for 20% off your next order at emerylaneco.com. Spelling of that is EMORYLANECO.com. Hey guys, Sean Sticks Larkin here. As a policeman, I always knew where the high crime areas were located. Now there's a way for you to know as well right on your iPhone. It's called Crime in Place. Using current FBI data, Crime in Place steers you away from the places you don't want to be, and it works anywhere in the country. So before you go down the street or out of state, go to the Crime in Place app for a free download. Stay aware, stay safe with Crime in Place.
Hey, Sean, I got a question for you.
Go for it.
So let's imagine that you bumped your head.
Been there.
Okay. Let's imagine you bumped your head and you went to sleep.
Been there.
And this was like in 1998. This was before Prince was singing about 1999.
That is true.
All right. And let's say that by some miracle you slept for 23 years.
Like Sleeping Beauty.
Well, you're a beauty, but yeah, like Sleeping Beauty.
Okay.
Let's call it like that.
All right.
And then you woke up after these 23 years.
Okay.
Can you imagine how the world has changed?
From 1998 until basically now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, unimaginable. Honestly, with technological advances and yeah, I mean, just everything is so different now.
Yeah, can you remember, like, seriously, 1998, what was going on in the world back then? We didn't have cell phones.
We did have cell phones.
We had them big bag phones you carried around.
Not in 98, man. I was on the police department in 98, and I did not have a damn bag. Not in 1988.
Okay, maybe
I had a bag phone back then, you know.
All right, but our guest today is a gentleman named Ramon Reid, and he was incarcerated for dang near over 31 years.
31 years.
Yep, and he came out. He did his time. He came out a better man. He saw the light. He's been rehabilitated.
That is the general idea.
Yeah, absolutely. So
behind
he came back into this world, and what do you think he did after not being around all this technological stuff that we have? What do you think he did?
Man, I bet. I don't know. You go to Disneyland, go on a tour. You got to see all kinds of stuff out here.
No. He started a YouTube channel.
Okay.
He got right into it and started a YouTube channel. He's been sharing his experiences since he's been released, and it's fascinating.
So he's sharing his experiences about the outside world, about prison.
All of it.
All of it. Okay.
He's talking about his time in prison. He tells prison stories. He talks about going out into the community. He talks about going shopping after this. Can you?
Probably a big difference from the commissary there in the zoo, as it's called, the penitentiary, compared to out here at your local grocery store, Reese's or Walmart.
Right, but you know what, Raymond, Ramon, we're gonna talk to you. I keep calling you Raymond. I'm sorry, Ramon. Ramon, we're gonna talk to you, but we're gonna have a drink too. So you got to pick the drink today. What did you pick?
Strawberry milkshakes.
That's right.
It's like a boozy milkshake? Like you've got rum or something added in there?
I got whipped cream in it.
Whipped cream.
Whipped cream. That's my hit single. Well, yeah. I decided that, since we're under these hot lights and we like to have a drink, we decided we're going to have strawberry margaritas. Or daiquiris? What are they?
I think they're daiquiri. Frozen strawberry daiquiris.
So we're going to have that, but cheers to you, Ramon. We're glad you're on here today with us. So let's get into it. How'd you end up in jail? That's the question everybody always asks.
Oh, a bunch of bad decisions, man. Bad circumstances, bad influences, bad decisions. That's the bottom line.
So how old are you now?
I am 51. I'll be 52 in about 10 days, I think, on August the 7th.
Okay. And
It's the
what
first
is your
birthday that I've had since 1988 that I was basically free.
Oh, wow.
since 1988?
Yep.
They don't let you have cakes in prison because you'll put a file in it. I watch that in cartoons.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
That's how they get out.
yeah, it's like you don't get a birthday cake. Everybody knows that trick, so they won't let you out. So when were you first? How old were you when you were first incarcerated, sir?
19.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yep.
If you don't mind me asking, what was that for?
I shot a guy, man. I shot a
Oh,
guy.
you just went for it from the get-go.
Well, it was like I talk about this in a podcast that I did with a guy named Tariq. It was pretty good, man. It's but the gist of it was I was out with a couple of friends of mine and we ended up getting into an argument and it ensued into a big fight. They had weapons and I had I had stole my grandfather's gun about 2 weeks prior to this whole thing, and I shot the guy in self-defense. Like that was like I had 37 stitches in my face. Like I was beat up really, really bad. I had 3 broken ribs, 2 broken fingers, 18 stitches on one side, 12 on the other. And
you were getting tore up.
Yeah, they beat the brakes off me. Then them dudes were, and they were talking about what they were going to do to me, talking about killing me. So I shot him in the leg to get him off me, and that's what happened. And I ended up taking a plea bargain for the case, and that's how I ended up going to prison. They gave me 18 months to 5 years. Gave me 30-day shock probation, which means that I go into the prison system, get a number, and come out. And that was, and I would be on 5 years probation.
But this was in Ohio too, so they didn't have the self-defense law there. Where
they didn't have self-defense law. Yeah,
it's not like in some other states, like Oklahoma. You can ban pretty much anything, right?
It was at the time. We didn't know that Ohio didn't have a self-defense law, and my lawyer, he said that we would win, but then when at the end of it, like when it was trial time, he said, "Listen, Ramon," he said, "you shot a white man in a white town with a stolen gun."
And as you said, you're not going to get a jury of your peers in that situation, right? Huh? Yeah, which is unfortunate. So you do your time, and it's not long, and they have you back out on the streets, and now they've kind of hung a felony rap on you. And yeah, I assume it's kind of tough to get any
job. Yeah, especially with me because I was a star wrestler.
Okay.
So and I'm from Alliance, Ohio, which is a tiny little town, and everybody knows who I am. And I shot this guy, so now I'm a convicted violent felon.
Right.
And they wasn't hiring me at all.
Which had you turning back to crime, is my understanding, right?
Yeah, because I didn't have any money. I was living with my mom, and she was struggling to make ends meet. I'm a grown kid, and I say that like I meant when I said a grown kid because I still had a child and a kid's mentality. And so this was in like '89, because by the time I went to trial, about 18 months had passed. So it's like 1990 now, actually. Once I went to prison, because I did like a year in prison total, but it was like 1990 when I really come out, like late '89, early 1990, and crack had hit.
Crack had hit. Yes, it had.
Yeah,
crack had hit. And
so did you get into swerving?
Oh, absolutely. I thought I was clocking big ducks, man, big ducks.
So they ended up popping you for that and sending you back because I'm sure that you were on probation for the felony, right?
Yep. And I actually got caught. They didn't catch me with drugs. They caught me with a gun.
That's all they needed, huh?
So you were basically a felon in possession of a firearm. Was that what the charge was?
Well, it was actually it was 2 charges.
Okay.
It was CCW,
carry concealed weapon,
and weapons under disability.
Okay.
Which is the same charge as you're describing right now.
Yeah.
So they sent you back to jail for a while, and then you got out again, and I'm sure as a 2-time felon it was a little hard, correct?
Yeah, it was even tougher.
And then
I actually, but I did get a job from a family friend but I hooked up with this stripper.
Was her name Cinnamon?
No, her name was, I don't even know I don't even know if she had a stripper name.
Was she working her way through dental school?
Yeah, she was doing some things with her mouth. I mean, yeah.
she was good with oral arguments. Okay, great. So I know where this leads. You ended up having a girlfriend that was a stripper, right?
Yeah, and she was a crackhead that I didn't know, and I ended up going to jail again. And then
so this is number 3 we're talking?
Yeah, this is number 3.
And what was that for?
That was for violation of parole, a technical parole violation.
Huh. And what was the violation? Just were you around, her when she was doing something, or what was that?
So she stole my clothes and told me to come get them. And when I found out where she was at, she told me to come get them. So when I went to the place, she told the guy that she was staying with that I was coming to rob him.
Oh.
And so when I knocked on the door, it was already, controversy. And we ended up getting into a fight. I ended up beating him up, and she called my parole officer and told my parole officer that me and my boys jumped her and him, and called and said that we was a gang and that we were selling drugs and running guns and all kinds of just lies. And so I ended up going on the run, and I went to the hospital in Akron to get I broke my hand as I was fighting. But the night before all of this jumped off, I knew where she was at, and she wouldn't give me my stuff, so I called the police. I was like, hey, I called the police because she's got my stuff.
Right.
And they, and they didn't do anything about it. When they came to me, they was like, yeah, we're not going to do anything. She said she'll bring your stuff to you tomorrow. And they just let it go.
It sounds like you're the first guy I've ever heard that's had trouble with a woman. I mean, that's pretty unique.
Especially a stripper.
Yeah, no.
Never heard of such a thing.
This is completely fascinating. I thought that they would go like that. So my understanding is after that violation, you decided you needed some money, and the best place to get some money was the
local bank.
Yes, sir.
So did you just feel like a little in Texas, you said?
Yeah.
So were you living down in Texas, and you needed to make a deposit or withdrawal? What were you doing down there?
I was fleeing the police.
Oh, and what were you fleeing for?
For the parole violation.
Okay, I got you. All right. So you end up down in Texas. What part of Texas were you?
Dallas, Texas.
Dallas. All right. What do we like? What part of Dallas? Were you like Oak Cliff? Say where at?
No, North Dallas, Farmers Branch, Addison, that area.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Familiar with it. So you end up down there. You go to make a deposit, a withdrawal. What are we doing?
I'm making a withdrawal.
I'm making a withdrawal, and just fill out a deposit slip or a withdrawal slip and walk in.
And I actually filled out a deposit slip.
And how did the rest of the story go?
So I actually filled out a deposit slip, and on the back of the deposit slip, I just wrote, "Empty your drawer quickly and quietly." And she looked at me. I gave her the note. She gave me the money. I put the money in my coat pocket, and I turned around and walked out. And then I got in my car, jumped back in, went to the hotel room, started counting the money, found the tracking device.
Oh.
And I was like, I didn't even recognize what it was till I saw the M for Motorola.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, Lord. So I wrapped it up and tried to flush it down the toilet, and then the toilet backed up.
That happens to Howard quite a bit, too, for different reasons. But
I have trouble with a woman.
Yeah. And then by the time I got to when I opened the door, because I was going to go get the maid, I opened the door, police was there.
They didn't mess around. They were right on you, huh?
Yeah, it wasn't even 10 minutes. They were already on me. So I ended up getting to my car. And once I got to my car, they flashed their lights. And because I still had on the same clothes I robbed the bank in. So it ain't like I don't fit the description.
You're not very good at that.
Oh, hey, that was one of the things about my case managers in prison, because I was like, dude, I deserve to go to prison. I'm not even angry about being in prison because I did something I deserve to go to prison for. Obviously I'm no good at bank robbery.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's awesome. Oh, I say that's awesome. That's bad for you, but that's kind of a funny story. Hey, how much money did you get? I'm always curious how much money one teller has.
Well, I don't really remember, but I believe it was like $12,000 or something like that, like 9,000, 12,000, somewhere in that range. It wasn't a lot.
Yeah, I mean, but and a tracking device that you can't flush, unflushable tracking devices.
Yeah,
So when
it
you
was.
so what was what was that feeling like, man? You had been to prison before. You were already on the run for a parole violation. When you walk outside, go to the car, and boom, the lights come on, man. What runs through your mind?
I'm like, I had already had this idea that I was not going back to prison, and I'm not going. Like, I'm like, look, they just gonna have to catch me. I'm not giving up. Like, you're gonna have to catch me. And I had told my girlfriend at the time that I wasn't I'm not going back to prison. They just gonna have to kill me.
Yeah.
Right. And so it wasn't until like they trapped me. I was cornered. I got all these cops behind me with guns drawn that I was like, what do I do? Do I because I'm not even facing. I got my back to them. And they're all like screaming, get down on the ground, all this. I'm like, if I make a move, I could die, right? And do I want that? Or I could just give up. And I thought about it, and my mom flashed through my eyes, my kids, I just didn't want nobody to be hurt, so I just gave up.
Well, and Ramon, I'll tell you that you're saying you didn't want that. You didn't want to die. You don't want to do that. I'm telling you from the police officer standpoint, we don't want that either. Right. I promise you, man, we don't. We're not trying to put a man down. We don't want to live with it. We don't want to have to, deal with that ourselves. So it is without a doubt the smartest thing to do is, when you're got, you're got. You
Right.
got to just put your hands up and roll with it at times.
Well, I'll tell you this though, DPD don't play because they beat the crap out of me when I gave up.
Did they? Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I ain't mad at them, man, because I took them on a run. They chased me for a while.
Yeah.
But I ain't mad. I'm a firm believer that we need the police.
Right.
Oh.
I'm not angry at the police. And in fact, I'm not even angry about being in prison because I think we need prisons.
Right.
Sure. You know what, man? And I'm going to follow up on that. Just kind of, some of the stuff that's been going on here in the last year. And I'm not trying to get all political or anything like that. But Ramon, man, I was a cop here in Tulsa for almost 25 years. I just retired. And the bad guys, the gangsters, I worked with our gang task forces where I was at for like the last 13 years of my career, whatever it is. And the gangsters, man, they get it. They don't, everybody talks shit because that's part of the game.
Right.
Gangsters talk shit to cops and, we chop it back at them type of deal. But it's not personal. And even the bad guys, they get it, man. It's just part of the game.
Yeah.
It's the people that are like, we don't need police and all this. They're majority of them are people that are not even ever been in trouble in their life.
Right.
People that are saying those type of things. They don't get it. So
yeah. So there's some guys that I've met in prison that I'm glad I met them in prison because they should be out in society.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm
Absolutely.
Like, dude, you's a nut. Like, I'm glad you were here. Like, you was a sociopath for real, bro.
Well, with that said, where were you incarcerated? Tell us about your time in prison.
What throughout in Ohio or just the whole thing?
So did Ohio?
We only got a 45-minute podcast here, Howard. He said he was locked up for like 30 years.
Okay, so when when they picked you up in Dallas, they took you back to Ohio, right?
No, they charged me and sentenced me in Dallas in Texas.
Did you get Fed court? Was that a Fed?
Yeah, that was a federal case.
Okay, yeah.
Where'd they end up sending you to prison then?
So say that again.
Where'd they send you to prison?
So I started off in United States Penitentiary, Beaumont.
Beaumont, I was gonna guess. Yeah.
That's awful.
And I promise you, dude, that was the worst. Like, I didn't even understand. Like, being in the state prison system, it's one thing. I've been to Lebanon, I've been to Mansfield, been to Lancaster. These are all Ohio prisons that are known, and they're pretty tough. And so I was kind of, I knew how to do time. It's one thing to know how to do time, but it was a whole different animal. Like, I always compare it like the county jail was kind of like high school. The state prison system was kind of like college, like junior college. And the Fed penitentiary was like like what do you call it, grad school.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? It's like it's a whole different caliber of people.
And you're referring to both the way the system is operated, or are you talking about from the internal side of things, the inmates, the way the inmates?
The inmates, just the internal economy, the level of education, just the level of criminality. Like I really wasn't criminal minded until I had some criminal tendencies, but I didn't become criminally minded until I went to the federal penitentiary, and I learned a lot about crime in the feds.
Probably fast.
Yes, very fast.
Man, so I'm looking at you here on camera. I don't see any of these tattoos up and down your arms or anything like that. I don't know if your torso has any. Did you end up? Were you affiliated at all when you were inside?
Not in the federal system, no.
Okay.
In the state system, yes.
I got you.
You were kind of
in
a
the
model.
federal system. In the federal system, it's more about where you're from.
Got you. So it's not necessarily race like as much as it is in some of the state prisons?
Oh yeah, it's race. It's definitely segregated.
Sure.
The Fed system is definitely segregated. But like the way the feds operate is what state or territory you're from. Because we got people from all over the world in the feds, all over the country. So like I rode with the Ohio car. That's because I'm from Ohio.
Right.
You have the Texas car, and I say car like CAR because that's the vehicle with which we rode with. We was in that group.
Right.
And so you had the Texas, you got every state in the United States. Then you got people from the Pacific Islands, and you got people from overseas. Right.
Was there a car from Maine? Was there a
Yes.
Maine? Wow. All right.
They had a New England car. So it depends on where you at. Like me being in the southern part of the country, there wasn't many guys from Maine.
Right.
So, but there were guys from New England, New England area, and they had a little group.
Were they wicked smart?
Wicked
smart. Those were the Boston guys.
The Boston boys, yeah.
They didn't fuck around either, did they?
Boston guys.
Well, when you got into prison, from my understanding, you decided you were just going to be a model prisoner and do your time, right? Try to stay out of trouble.
Yeah, right. Like my
hey, before you even answer that, Ramon, what was your sentence that you got for the Fed time for the robbery?
199 months.
199 months, which comes out to what's that? I know 16 years, 7 months.
Yep.
That's a long ass time, man.
That is, man. That's long enough on earth to learn to
Was
drive.
that was I'm assuming you didn't go to trial.
Oh yeah, I took it to trial. That's why I got the 16.
Man, I was gonna say I thought it was some sentencing guideline because of your criminal history, man. God.
Yeah, the thing was,
what was your defense?
I'm not a good robber.
Nah, it's some I was doing some UCC stuff, some straw man stuff. It's like don't even think about it. I ain't even gonna get into that.
All right, bet.
I just tell you this that I had offered to plea out to 10 years. And the prosecutor agreed, but the judge was like, no, I want 14. And we were like, dude, the maximum is 16 years, 7 months. If I'm gonna take 14, I might as well just take it to trial and keep all my rights. What's the difference between 14 and 16?
Right.
So I ended up taking it to trial and lost, but it was cool.
Well, let me ask you this. Would you have rather done 14, not done that 2 years, 7 months?
Man, it doesn't even matter really. It's
okay.
It is, I had done so much time by then and I was like, whatever.
It's what you knew.
Right.
Yeah. So I was accustomed to being in prison.
Well, let me ask you this. Did you have you were released, you have a parole hearing, said, all right, you're ready to go. Ramon, see you later.
Time to feds?
Yeah.
No, I did. I finished my sentence. They let me go.
How's that work? What do they do? Just give you your clothes that you left in? The only thing that I can think about when I think about that is like Eddie Murphy in what was that movie he was in with Nick Nolte?
48 hours.
Yeah, 48 Hours. You remember when he goes out? What was his name too? That was a good movie.
Axel Foley.
No, that was Beverly Hills Cop.
How much TV were you
Oh,
watching
Reggie
in there,
Hammond.
man?
You talking about Reggie
Reggie
Hammond.
Hammond. That's Reggie Hammond.
He's
Yeah.
dropping. What else did you watch in there?
I've
You ever heard of Live PD?
So many movies like you would not believe.
You've watched all of them, huh?
I've seen a lot of movies. But the crazy part about the feds is you can do a life sentence, but you can't watch a rated R movie.
Really?
What?
Yeah.
Huh? You might see a boob or something on there, huh?
Yeah, we can't have rated R movies.
Oh, little known prison trivia there. So they let you out, and you went back to Ohio.
Oh no! I didn't. They released me from my sentence.
Oh.
But they didn't let me out because remember I was on parole with Ohio when I caught that case.
Ah.
So Ohio wanted you.
Absolutely. They wanted me bad.
So they didn't. So what you're saying is Ohio basically didn't run their stuff CC. They didn't run it concurrent. They split it out consecutive. You got to serve your Fed time and then go back to Ohio and still deal with a case from 16 years, 7 months earlier.
Yep. Now, actually, what they told me was like, you got to answer us for catching that Fed case. And the actual, and I'm not going to name his name. I was going to, but I'm going to change my. I'm going to be prudent and not say his name.
Okay.
But the hearing officer, told me at my hearing, he said Ohio wants a pound of flesh for you commit that crime 16 years, 7 months ago.
So they brought you back and put you in Ohio State Prison.
Yep, and maxed me out, made me do. I owed them 7 years.
Damn.
Well, 6 years is like 6 years and 9 months or something like that.
And how long of that did you have to do?
All of it.
They weren't playing.
Yep.
So how long you been out, sir?
I've been out 2 months today.
Oh.
You said 2? Like
2?
1, 2?
Yeah, 2 months.
Damn.
And what do you like most about being out, other than the fact that Cheerios comes in 10 different
11
flavors? 11 flavors. That's right.
I imagine he likes females. You got a wedding ring on there.
Yeah, but this signifies my relationship with Christ. Not
Oh man, that's good for you.
Bless
so
you, sir.
I'm not looking for a woman right now, and to be honest, I haven't been with a woman since I've been out. My focus is on somewhere else. I'm trying to get myself established.
Hey, smart man.
Very smart man.
Very smart man.
Well, I'm going to say this. I realized that if I wanted to do better, right? If I wanted to be better, I had to do better. And if I wanted something different than what I had, something I've never had, I got to do things I've never done. So I decided to focus on me and not be worried about a relationship.
Good for you, man. Let me ask you a question. You ever heard of a guy named Big Herc?
Yes, I know Big Herc.
So
I heard of him. Let me say that.
So he and I actually grew up together.
Oh, for real?
I swear, man. Yeah, we're going to have actually him here on the podcast. That's why it's kind of listening to you tell this story. So his real name is Marcus. He and I grew up together in the Bay Area, and he ended up becoming a gangster, and he was a blood out there in Sacramento. He moved to Sacramento, got caught selling dope, ended up in the California Youth Authority, got out, was hustling again, and he ended up doing a bank robbery. And down in L.A., ended up in prison. And so it's eerily similar talking with you and the same type of thing, man. He got out and, just like, all right, man, I've spent a portion of my life locked up, and there's still a lot of life left, and kind of take those experiences from inside and, transfer them here to the outside. And it sounds like that's kind of the path you're trying to get down.
Right. Because with me this is my attitude. I serve my time, man.
Sure.
I deserve the stuff that I went to prison for. Is things that I deserve to go to prison for. I committed a crime. So with that being said, I also believe that I can come out here and I can succeed. This is America.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Man, and America says that, this is the land of the free, home of the brave, the land of opportunity. There are people dying to get over here. And I felt that if I stayed positive, if I believed in God, believed in myself, surrounded myself by positive people, that good things would happen. And if I planned my release and was proactive in my release, then good things would happen. And good things have happened.
Well, how did you get hooked up on YouTube? Like I said, coming out of, did you have YouTube? Did they allow you to have YouTube in the Ohio
But we
State
didn't have
prison?
the internet. We didn't have any internet. So what happened was, like, while I was in prison, I started learning about computers.
Okay.
I started learning about the technology. Like, I was never exposed to it, but I learned about it, right? I learned what different things were. And so I started hearing about social media, and they were telling me about Facebook and YouTube. Like, you can do anything on YouTube. And it was like, anything you want to see is on YouTube. So when I was getting ready to get out of the federal system, people were like, man, you did all of this time. What you going to do when you get out? And I was like, I don't know, like, man, because it was a lot of things that I'd never done. I'd never been on the internet, right? I'd never been to Walmart. I'd never been to the ocean. I've never been on a plane without handcuffs. I've never been on a boat. I've never been on a horse. It's just like all of these things that I've never done. And they was like, dude, I can't wait till you get out, because I wish I was out with you when you got out, because it's gonna be so much fun to be around you, man. And so everybody kept saying that to me, like, dude, I wish I was out when you got out, because it's gonna be fun for you to see you experience this stuff. And so I had this idea about documenting my reentry into society. And that's where I came up with the idea for people, like how I came up with Modern Day Caveman, because that's my show, my channel, was people would say, man, where you been? Like in a cave? And I'm like, no, not really. Just replace the B with a G, then you'll get it. You know what I'm saying? And so, and so I ran at my son. He's in the entertainment industry, and I was like, he's a DJ in Columbus, Ohio, and I was like, I'm gonna shout out to BBX. That's my son, BBX.
There you go.
I said, hey man, I got this idea, and he was like, Dad, that could work. He said, man, I think that could work. And so I ran it. I pitched it to, like, I did some market analysis and asking different inmates if I had a video, like, would you watch me? I asked the staff what they do, and they was like, yeah, that'd be great. And so when I got out of prison, when I was getting ready to get out of prison, my son bought me a GoPro. I don't know if he bought it or if he had it himself, but he gave me a GoPro, and he's the one that actually came and picked me up from prison. And I told him I wanted to go to Walmart. And actually, how I wanted to go to Walmart to the cereal aisle is Wired magazine. You know Wired magazine? You ever seen one?
Yeah.
It's real big. So they had this story on the was it the Waldens that own Walmart?
Yeah, Waltons.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and they had a panoramic picture of the cereal aisle at a super Walmart.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I was like, dude, look at all of these cereals. I said, man, is this real or is this like a staged picture? And I was like, man, I'm going to Walmart. I'm going to go see the cereal. I want to go see this in person.
So you went straight from prison to Walmart?
Well, we went to his mom's house.
Okay.
I took a shower, and
Sure.
she cooked breakfast, and then we went straight to Walmart.
Hey, let me ask you this. Is Modern Day Caveman sponsored by Walmart? That's a good pitch right there, sir.
No, but it should be. I would
Yeah.
like it to. Hey, I'm working on shooting a pitch to him here in the near future. I got a lot of things. Actually, my channel is evolving, and
Hey.
I'm working on doing a lot of things. I just hit the monetization point
There you go.
a couple days ago. So I got like 14,000 subscribers or something.
That's awesome. In 2 months, huh?
2 months.
Well,
So,
hopefully it'll grow some more after we, get you out there like this. Now, are you in the Columbus area right now still?
no, I'm actually in the Youngstown area,
Okay.
in Austin town. I work at a addiction recovery campus.
And what do they have you do there?
I'm actually a CO.
You're a big dude, man. How
Yeah.
tall are you? I mean, looking at you here, you're swole.
I'm 6'2", 245 pounds.
Yeah, you're a big dude.
Yeah, it looks like you actually stayed in shape in prison, huh?
Yes, sir. Yes,
You
sir.
hey, you told me a story about, or I heard one of your stories. You were talking about a guy. One of your jobs where I guess the commodity in the institution that you were in was soap. People wanted soap and toilet paper, and you were in charge of giving out the laundry soap.
Yeah. That was I told that story on one of my YouTube videos, man. It's called Another Prison Story. I told that story. I don't really want.
No,
Well,
yeah,
when
they
you
can
go
go
down
and they can go and listen to it. But
Yeah, just go listen to it. It was Yes, it was a commodity, but it was free.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They passed it out every week. We got it every 2 weeks. We got laundry soap, and it just so happens that they knew that I would be responsible and make sure that everybody got what they had coming.
Right. Yeah. Well, we had a guy. We had a police officer on who was charged and sent to jail in South Dakota.
Yeah, he went to Fed prison up in South Dakota. He's one of the the PWCs.
Yeah, and they had him shoveling snow for how much an hour?
Like 12 cents or something like that. I don't know. It was, stamps was the big deal there for him that they were all
That's when
concerned
the Fed
about. That's
stamps.
it. Fed said stamps. That's it, right?
Yeah.
Stamps.
You could buy a pair of shoes with stamps.
You can buy whatever you want with stamps.
Yeah, that was a gold standard in there. So that's why I was asking if soap was a commodity there, because I always thought it was cigarettes. I didn't have any idea it was that.
In the prison that I just left, the currency was basically commissary.
Gotcha.
But they had now, they got these Cash App cards now too. So
Yep.
Everybody's using Cash App or PayPal because now you can just transact with a number. But actually, the direct currency in the institution was commissary.
Ramon, and not to cut you off here, man, but I know you're drinking that delicious strawberry milkshake from Steak and Shake that was DoorDash to you, and we're sipping on this very fruity.
It's very sugary
strawberry drink. What do we like most, though, Howard?
We like bourbon.
We like bourbon.
See all this whiskey behind us?
We like bourbon.
We finished our strawberry
we finished the strawberries.
So,
but we have got our one of our bourbon scooter gang brothers here in town with us. Jason Sales actually sitting off just to the side with us. And Park Hill Liquors here in Tulsa has given us the pleasure again, Howard, of doing a store pick, a barrel pick for them.
Yeah, bourbon. Yeah, people of Ohio are pretty close to the people of Kentucky, and the people of Kentucky like bourbon very much. I think the Ohio River is the only thing that separates the Kentucky land from Ohio, correct?
Yep, that's it.
So while we have you on here for a few more minutes, Jason is going to pour us, we've got 3 different little bottles, 3 samples of Bullet Bourbon from Park Hill Liquors, and we're going to, here on the air, while we've got you on, man, we're going to pick which one they're going to get a private barrel of. So,
and we need your help on this because we make faces when we drink bourbon, and you get to. We're going to have 3 choices here, and you should look and see which one of us has the happiest face during whichever one we're drinking. Either
right,
1, 2, or 3. So you get in on the picking of the liquor.
I'm gonna put my glasses on for this. So
there you go.
All right.
All right.
So we've got 3 different bottles, 3 different samples, basically. I let Jason get the first bump since he's off. He unfortunately doesn't have a mic, but
He's got some headphones. He's listening to us. Man, that's a good angle for you. You look good right there. I see you bought a light. Where'd you buy that? Walmart?
Walmart.
Yeah, well, you can get everything.
I buy
at Walmart.
everything at Walmart, man. I go to Walmart and shop everything.
all right.
Now, what do you think of that one? That was one.
But he took it smooth.
You know why? Because one of us is a man and the other is not. That's sitting up here, man.
One of us is honest. That was not. All right. Okay. This is number 2. Let's see.
Man, what a difference. You try that one too, Jason? Yeah, huge difference.
Yeah, you took that one real smooth.
That was solid, though. Yeah, there's a big difference. I'm going. What do you think? 2's going to be the one right now so far.
So far, I'd say 2.
That first one was a little. It was a little. Well, I'm sure some people would like it. It just wasn't me. Okay, this is 3.
That one had a kick to it.
That one's hot, man.
You watch
Yeah, I
this
could
one?
tell. I saw your reaction. That had a kick to it.
That one did. Oh, really?
Yeah, number 2.
Yeah, it's number 2.
I was thinking 2. What about you, Jason?
I like number 2.
Jason likes number 2. So
Ramon, thank you for that.
Ramon, this barrel pick for Park Hill Liquors, a store pick of Bullet Bourbon, brought to you by Ramon,
yes.
Jason Sales, Sean Larkin, and Howard Doss.
Maybe we can
Hey,
get
you
off.
gotta say. Hey, I need you to do me a favor, please.
Yes, sir.
Please say Ramon, aka Modern Day Caveman.
Okay,
Boom.
Ramon, aka modern day caveman.
All one word.
Modern day caveman. Like that?
So man,
I-
so we've got maybe, I don't know, 10 minutes or so here. But when you got out, obviously Walmart, you were fascinated by Walmart. What else has been one of the big wows that's just kind of blown you away?
The interconnectivity of everything, how everything is interconnected, like, and everything is instant. Like, you can do things instantly. It's amazing to see how everything is interconnected. Like, it's just that's the thing that's getting me right now. How everything is, you can do. Like, I went, like, one of the craziest things was right up the street from where I live. There's this restaurant where you can buy Taco Bell and Long John Silver's. They're at the same building, right? And like, you could, like, I pulled up to the drive-through, and I was like, I said, you can, like, I'm looking at.
I want a fish sandwich and a Nacho Bel Grande.
Yeah, and I said I can order both things at this. They was like, yeah. I said they're going to come at the same time.
Ramon, I want to hang out with you, man.
Yeah. You can come to Oklahoma. It starts with O, like Ohio. You can come hang with us.
Well, my travel restrictions had just got lifted yesterday.
Okay.
So I'm actually traveling to Cincinnati Thursday.
You gonna see the red? Wait, it's not baseball. It's
Baseball season.
I had a subscriber offered to bring me down there for something. I don't know what it is yet, so I'll figure it out when I get there. I'll put a video up about it.
Okay, just so you know that, like, you're clearly not my daughter, nor are you a female, but like, if my son or my daughter was like, yeah, somebody wants me to come to Cincinnati, I don't know what it is, but I'll figure it out when I get there. That's a hell no. So I hope you've got, your location devices on, your son or somebody knows where you're at, man.
It's nothing like that.
I got you.
It's a legitimate offer.
No, I know, man. I'm just messing with you.
Yeah, absolutely. So what else other interconnectivity? You get Long John Silver's and Taco Bell at the same place and Walmart. I mean, these are things that we all kind of take for advantage or
For granted.
For granted. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
Technological for granted. Yes. What's other things you've seen?
How people are not, like, not everybody's is cognizant of other people's personal space.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Like in prison, everything is structured, and there's rules, there's organization. Out here, it's chaos. Like, these dudes don't care. Kids are, like, just disrespectful. Like, I just, but I had an incident where I talk about, I was at the Mongolian Grill, and I was getting some soft drink, I guess we call it. And this guy walks past me and bumps me, and he's just like, it was like a shoulder check to me. And I'm like, whoa. And, I'm like, what the, it took me a minute to register that this guy is not trying to check me, or he's not trying to pump me.
Right.
He just kept it moving, and really, I don't even think he realized he hit me.
Now, inside, that's something different.
A problem.
Yeah, that's a problem. Exactly.
Yeah, that's like, I'm ready to go see him.
Yeah.
Like, immediately. Like, I'm going. Yeah, that was a problem. That was a problem. But, like, it's, for the most part, I don't really go out that much. I work 6 days a week. On my off time, I either go to church, I go to my mom's house, or I spend time with my grandkids.
How many grandkids you have?
I got 6 grandchildren.
Ooh.
And we went, actually, 3 of us, my 3 granddaughters, we went to the North Canton skating rink and went roller skating and played video games and wall climbing and laser tag.
Yeah.
You had a good time.
Well, that was awesome, man. That was awesome. I got a video I'm putting together now of some of the footage from there, man. Me on roller skates.
Well, let me ask you this. This is kind of a serious question. Do and this may sound weird, but do you miss prison at all? Is it weird being out on the outside? Do you feel uncomfortable being on the outside? I'm sure it's a pretty heavy transition, huh?
Um, if I'm honest, yeah, I miss some of it. I miss, I had like, especially in the last prison that I was at, it was in a camp. I was low security. I had community work clearance, so I could leave and, go to. I'm a Stevens minister, and I was able to go over to the hospital portion of the prison, which is another prison in itself. Like I could go out, I could leave the prison grounds and go out and work in the yard and go across to the other prison and like unsupervised. And so I had a lot of freedom, and I had a lot of, I made friends in there. I made some friends with some staff members and not too many inmates, but a couple, like I call brothers. And, like one of my brothers just got out yesterday. What's today? Tuesday? He got out Friday. He got out Friday. And I've been knowing, me and him been doing time since the 90s together. He just got judicial release, man. He changed his life around too. I can't wait to have him on my YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, I look forward to seeing that.
Well, that's kind of the thing that people. I mean, obviously you're a super likable gentleman. We like having Ramon, aka Modern Day Caveman. See, I said it all fast that time on here. You got a great smile. You got a positive attitude. People can't help but kind of prop you up and stuff. So I'm sure when you were in prison, you had some status in there, and people looked up to you. And then when you come out, I mean, people are like, man, he's just a convict, and that the kind of, it takes a little adjustment, and working 6 days a week's tough. I mean, that's some heavy duty adulting there,
I mean, but, like I said, I made a comment in one of my videos. It's called, Am I Useful? Am I Even Useful? Because in prison, I was like unique because especially in the state prison system, because one, I got a high school diploma, right? And that's rare.
That's a rarity.
You know what I'm saying? For guys to have I graduated from a good high school and I got an education and I went to college while I was in prison. And so I was a tutor and a teacher and, a mentor in the prison system by the time I got out. And so I worked with the unit staff, and like I had a lot of influence. Like really, I had a lot. I was that guy that when you needed something done, when staff wanted something done and they wanted it done right, they come to me.
That's awesome.
So, and then that was it, man.
Well, you said it earlier, man. Honestly, yes, I know someone coming out of prison, it's tough. I mean, it is. To get work and get that ball started. But you hit it right on the head, man. If you've got the will, which it sounds like obviously you do. I mean, you're showing it even just in 2 months being out. You've got that desire. You've got the mindset. You've served your time. You've put your bad guy shit times behind you. You're going to succeed, man. We had a guy that was on here a month or so ago, was actually a guy that I put in prison back in the day. And he got caught with like half a bird of dope and a chopper and all this type of stuff. He did his time. He got out, got shot after he got out, and he ended up catching a break, man. He started out sweeping floors at this aerospace place, and he has worked his way up to, a manager in this place and is doing really, really well. And that's what he said. He was like, man, once I got the mentality and was just like, you know what? I knew how to hustle. I knew how to work hard as a bad guy, and I just transitioned it over into the real world, and it worked. And he's doing really well now. So, man, I wish you the best of luck in that. And it sounds like I said, between your attitude and your determination, and you are a likable dude, man. You're funny as hell. So those things, I mean, it's gotten Howard this far in life just being funny because he's ugly as hell.
Yeah, I'm pretty.
Not very smart, but he's pretty damn funny. So it goes a long ways.
Well, we're okay. You want to shout out to anybody before we get off the air here?
Oh yeah, I gotta give a shout out to my mom. Hi, mommy.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right. I give a shout out to my son BBX, to my daughter Ashley, and my other daughter Naisha, and to all of my grandbabies. I love you. And I gotta give a shout out to my man Dex 1066. Man, he has been so instrumental, and Gail, and Jenny, and Betty. So
You know, lots of women, man. That's pretty impressive.
Hey.
Those women are women that were part of my support system.
Oh,
Boom.
that's awesome.
And then they've been helping me transition, especially Jenny. Jenny has just been instrumental, especially when I was incarcerated. I couldn't function without her. And now that I'm out, she feels some kind of way about. I'm sure she does, because I really ain't using her like I were when I was in prison. I'm doing everything on my own.
Right.
Yeah. Well, listen, man, we do appreciate you being on here. I will say this for your son that's up there in the Columbus area. There's a Columbus PD officer. His name is AJ. On Instagram, he's Oh No, It's the Popo. And have your boy. I'm serious, man. The dude is doing a lot of big things. He's got a huge Instagram following, does a lot of things, particularly in the black community there. It's a white cop that's kind of grew up like a little hood guy. He's got a hell of a story, man. So someone maybe you can reach out to. I'll see if we can get you guys connected, because he's got a lot of good connections up there in Ohio for people doing things. So we really appreciate you being on here. And, man, wish you the best of luck. One more time, what's your YouTube channel? Everyone can find you.
It's Modern Day Caveman, all one word.
Boom.